The Stop Trump campaign has taken a new turn at this hour, seeping into the race itself with Senator Ted Cruz and Governor John Kasich. So what they've done over the weekend is they decided to coordinate their campaign strategies, hoping to clip Trump's delegate advantage that he has right now. And while everybody wonders if this is smart or perhaps even legal, the Republican National Committee has no intention of stopping it. Communications director for the RNC said this morning they're not getting involved.
We've said this for a long time, that every campaign has to run its own strategy. It's really not our job at the RNC to handicap it as much as just to ensure that we have a fair and transparent process for which they compete.
We're joined now by somebody who shared a stage with all three of these men, former Republican presidential candidate and former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee, joining us exclusively. I am dying to know what you think of this Kasich-Cruz strategy right off the bat, Governor.
Well, Liz, it's not illegal. There's nothing untoward about it in the sense that it's unethical. It's just that I'm not sure it's going to be effective, because what they're doing is they're making it very clear we can't win. All we can do is try to stop Donald Trump. This is not an effort so that either one of them can win. This is an effort so that Donald Trump could lose, and I don't think it's going to be effective.
We're looking at a live shot of where Donald Trump is about to speak. And Governor, you can understand why he'd be frustrated, because he feels like they're ganging up on him. However, his response to, let's just pick out John Kasich for the moment, in a rally earlier, was to rip John Kasich, A, for something that is true. He has only won one primary state. So that doesn't really indicate that he has a huge groundswell of support on the Republican side behind him. But he also started criticizing the way John Kasich eats, calling it, quote, disgusting. And, you know, John Kasich is a man who's done great things for the state of Ohio. He balanced the budget when he was a congressman for many years. Both his parents were killed by a drunk driver. He has been an advocate on many levels for important issues. Why isn't that turning people, at least against Donald Trump in certain ways, when it seems inappropriate at best?
Look, I think Donald Trump does this kind of thing for his own amusement and for that of his crowds. It's not the kind of thing he would most likely say if he were at a presidential press conference, but I would advise him, stay away from that stuff. Look, stick to the fact that this is a collaboration between two guys whose delegates together don't match Donald Trump's. And the fact is that they seem to be more focused on keeping Donald Trump from winning than they do from keeping Hillary from winning. And I just think if Trump handled it that way, frankly, it's better. I don't think voters are going to say, oh, wow, Cruz and Kasich are working together. I think I'll vote for one of them. It doesn't work like that, and that's why I don't think it's going to be very effective.
How do you feel about the tone that this has all taken? And I'm not just talking about, you know, criticisms and name-calling, but the tone for the entire Republican Party. Charles Koch, the billionaire, who is somebody that a lot of Republicans, real conservatives, listen to, has now said, and I'm sure you heard about this, he said to George Stephanopoulos over the weekend on ABC that he really almost grappled when George asked him, would you vote for Hillary over Donald Trump? He didn't say no. He didn't say no. You know, how much sway do the Koch brothers have at this point?
I don't know, but I think it would be unbelievably disastrous for somebody to honestly think that Hillary Clinton, with all of the challenges of corruption that she faces, of all of the insider deals, the fact that she's basically a wholly owned subsidiary of the big corporate interest and Wall Street interest, to say that somehow she would be terrific for America. This would be an epic battle. And if it's Hillary and Donald Trump, I think Donald Trump gets voters that Bernie has had. He's going to get a lot of traditional Republican voters. I think in that race, Donald Trump wipes the floor with Hillary. I truly do. And I know a lot of people think he can't beat Hillary. Actually, I think he most certainly can, because he's going to be able to challenge her in a way I don't know of anyone else who will or can.
Will he get your vote, Governor?
Well, absolutely. But whoever the Republican nominee is going to get my vote. That's why, you know, I've said I'm going to vote for our party's nominee. And if it's not Trump and it's somebody else, I'll vote for that person. I'm a Republican. You know, I never make any bones about that. But I'm not one of these Republicans that say, gee, if I don't get my way, I'm not going to play. I'll just go home. That's something that bothers me. A lot of people in this Never Trump movement, that is destructive, not just to Trump's campaign. That's destructive to the party and ultimately to the conservative cause.
Boy, it's great to have you on the show. Thank you, Governor, so much for joining us.
Thanks, Liz. Great to be with you.
Governor Mike Huckabee.